Hey YouTube, this is Random Call Sign. Welcome to a new video, and today we're going to check out the PlayStation 4 version of Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're going to do a 10-minute race against the AI to see the main overall differences between the PC version and the console version. The Xbox will be very similar. I'm going to run an aggressive setup, and because I know the fuel 62 liters is way too much, we're going to use like 30 liters, and that would be even then more than enough. If you come from the PC version, you know, the menus are exactly the same. Even on the start menus, on the main menus, it's exactly the same. It just changes one thing here or there in order to be more suited into the console version. There's less like one or two things there, but everything else exactly the same tiles, same setup. So we're gonna run the Maca 720. 10 minutes around Nürburgring, 20 EI, which is the maximum. And we're going to hit the first big two differences over here, which would be the lack of start procedure as we have on PC. It's going to hit the limiter, something that we had a long time ago. See, I'm hitting like a 50 km/h limiter over here, set as a hard limiter. And after this, if you give just a little bit of space, you can actually jump the start. They have to do it like at 80 km/h, 70 km/h in front. We can basically just throttle up from here, and there wouldn't be any repercussions. I'm not sure what version this is compared to the PC. It's running 137, but 137 isn't. Whoa, 137. Already had the start procedure corrected. This one doesn't. Now, in terms of FPS, we can already see the 30 FPS. They did take a toll. It's not bad, but if you come from something like say GT Sports, you'll see that the graphics aren't as clean and the experience isn't as smooth. FPS is not always everything, at least in my opinion. The consistency of frame rate for me is very much more important, but that 30 FPS, it might deter some. It's not a big issue for me, the 30 FPS, even though on PC I run this like at 100, 120, when we have like multiple cars. It stays around 60 to 80 to 90, even at 1440p. This is running at 1080p, 30 FPS. The graphical quality is far lower. But for me, the main issue, and it's going to be the elephant in the room, and it should everybody should be mentioning this if they're worth their salt in the reviews, which is there is some input lag. And it can be really bad. And the input lag, it's not only on the wheel, it kind of feels that is the same thing on the pedals, which is well, something that you need to take attention to. It is manageable. It's not like the level of Project Cars 1 or even what was the other game they made? Need for Speed Shift 1 and 2, which were like massive input lag horrors, but this one has, I would say, a tenth of a second lag, tenth of a second delay, and it can be quite an issue. And for me, because I'm used to almost no input lag or close to no input lag, it makes me almost 2 to 3 seconds slower. Of course, after a while you get used to it, but on this track where I do like 55s on race trim, I'm doing like 58s or 59s even. So it does make a big difference in the beginning. Now, the good thing about this game, and I'll be doing a review later on, is that in terms of physics, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same experience you have on PC. Going over curbs, the car driving, losing control, the slip angle of the tires, the suspension, everything is exactly 100%, I believe. Same as experience as you have in PC. And as far as I can see, the AI is also the same thing, which is a massive, massive improvement to most AIs there are on consoles, bar maybe Project Cars 2, which has a very good AI as well. Or at least if you lower the aggressiveness, they can be good. But this one seems to be close to the same AI that we have on the PC as well, which is very, very good. The force feedback is close enough as well, which we'll be happy to know. There are the same options of like the gain, the effects. You can tune it more or less to be the same thing as you'd had on the PC. There are some subtle differences, but it's more due to the PlayStation platform than the game itself. I think force feedback, it's really nailed. I like the Assetto Corsa Competizione force feedback. I know a lot of people on PC don't, but I like it. It gives you like the right impressions. Completely missed the apex, and the input lag kind of almost killed me there. There might be one or two differences, but it's more or less the same experience there. So I want to leave some of the other things that I want to say to the review, but you can basically see more or less the experience you're gonna have. If you are willing to ignore the input lag and 30 FPS, the 30 FPS is okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker. The input lag for me is more of a deal breaker, but even so, it's usable. You'd be okay with this title, I guess. Ugh. Man, the AI is really good. Side by side, perfect. Sometimes it can be a little bit chicken, but you can raise the aggressiveness there, which is pretty cool. The AI came a long way. If you're new to Assetto Corsa Competizione, and if you are on, say, on PlayStation or Xbox, and you do not know how the ACC AI was, this is like really good. I think there's only, for me, one AI that is better, or two maybe, R Factor 2 and iRacing, but iRacing is more personal. You can personalize the AI a little more than this, almost by car even. But as far as it goes, as a not general AI, but AI that you can just generally tune on the PC, sorry, not on the PC, on the platform, it's pretty nice. They'll give you like a very, very good run for your money. They can be aggressive, they can defend, they can attack. It's pretty nice. Man, I feel so slow. Kind of wish that the color balance was better in this game. Can I go in? No, I can't go in. Unfortunately, another thing that I can mention, I'm using a Fanatec F1 esports wheel. So just a rim. The base is a CSL. But the rim, because of the buttons it has, you can't really assign like the funky switch, unfortunately. But it's once again, it's a limitation of the console, and not a limitation of the game. It did play a little bit chicken. I could raise the aggressiveness for next time. Oh, it's so slow. Let's try to do a better lap next time. So you can't really have the buttons that you want you'd use on a PC, which is kind of a shame. But this game will require a lot of buttons, or should require quite a lot of buttons. And I use them on a specific way that you can't really use on the PlayStation 4, unfortunately. Oh, dialed in. Thank you very much. Do 4 more laps for consistency. Oh, if you guys don't know those trackers, I have a video about the trackers. I'll be posting the link in either on the description or above you. It's really interesting stuff, and if you want to improve in Assetto Corsa Competizione, use that as a guide. It's for PC, but this game is like carbon copy running over here. So, same rules apply. It's a very simple procedure. Takes a while though, but should be good for you. Man, I still feel really slow. I think my best overall lap ever was a 154.9, which isn't fast by any chance. The fast guys, I think, are hitting low 53s and high 52s. But it just feels sluggish on the reactions. It's hard to explain. It's because of the input lag mainly. I also had to correct the brake, a little bit of gamma of the brake to be more aggressive on the pickup. Exactly because of the input lag. So it took just a fraction of a second more to react to a higher signal, and that would be enough, for example, to miss the chicane altogether. So I raised the gamma 50%. Jesus! Raised the gamma 50% exactly to make sure that the brake would react. So here you have it, guys. First race in Assetto Corsa Competizione PS4 console version that I make. Not a bad experience, could be better. I'm not sure how it's going to improve for the future. If you enjoyed the video, if you're new to the channel, press like, press subscribe. I'll be doing more PlayStation 4 stuff on Competizione in the near future. And also check out the review that will be coming out the next few days. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.